This was such an adventure. Um, wow, it was like a movie, and it was jarring and there was a lot of tension, and then we kind of collapsed into this beautiful field of these. It was like a psychedelic dream, and it was magical, and I loved every second of it. Um, and oh, I loved the creative concept behind this whole film. I thought it was so well executed. I loved the styling of it, the hair and makeup, the effects, everything was just of the highest quality, and it was so watchable. It was fantastic. Really fantastic job to everybody involved.
For a moment, I had to double take and see if this was Brooke Shields, and then I was tortured with the treacherous sound, really having to sit with that character in this uncomfortable moment we are sharing together. I feel like that scene could have been shorter, so it's safe to say I really enjoyed this transition to silence, but not just for the silence. I loved the use of water, this moment of rebirth. I'm here for the abstract realism at play here. The person who worked on these visual effects is really talented. I enjoyed how they worked this piece. This moment in the field of flowers is, if you think about it, a mundane setup. And these travels of light in the space with the colors and the way the actor interacts with them, it makes the sequence interesting. It elevates it. I'm not sure how much of this was done practical effects and lighting setups, but you can tell that there was a good communication there between those two areas because you need that in order for this to be pulled off and be played well. And it's very reminiscent to Black Mirror as well.
Asphodel Fields was a film that I found myself enjoying quite a bit. The visuals throughout this thing were really, really outstanding, and really effectively used contrast in color and brightness, as well as just some really striking objects or props popping up throughout this thing. The music here is almost secondary to the visuals, kind of the opposite of some of the other films, most of the other films that I watched today. The primary focus here, I think, is on the visuals and on the non-musical sound design, which was, I think, a really interesting choice, but one that paid off. There are moments that are very loud, almost grating with the sounds that they use, and I think that that was uh, kind of a good shock to the system, uh, artistically, visually, all of that. I think this worked very, very well.
This was really cool. Just stunning work with lighting here. Every little vignette, every sequence was just really thoughtfully produced. Yeah, you look at each shot and you're kind of amazed at what they were able to capture. It really has this just otherworldly quality to it. The score was also fantastic as well. Our performer does a great job drawing us in. It all comes together and gels and makes this really just interesting piece. Definitely worth checking out. So great work to everyone involved.
Asphodel Fields was very intense. Uh, it had a strong sci-fi horror theme to it, um, and it was very immersive. I found myself lost into it, just entranced by this new world it took me into uh, with the almighty cube. Uh, it was very interesting to watch, and I had a lot of fun watching it.
So this is my review for Asphodel Fields, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. But I loved it. It was very moody. The sci-fi element gave the short film a lot of texture. It was very atmospheric and very experimental. Um, Definitely intriguing to watch. All of the practical elements practical effects felt very seamless. It was very reminiscent of like Annihilation. Honestly, it was great. even though there wasn't any like concrete plot or like structure, the atmospheric vibe in general made it very pleasant to watch. So I loved it.